Good day, Saints. I'm Joel Reiner.
And I'm Hank Oakes. And welcome to Saints Weekly. Hey Joel, guess what I did today?
What did you do today?
I did my NUIA testing for math.
Did it go well?
No, it did not. It was not pleasurable at all. Do you ever wonder what goes into that?
No.
Oh, well, we're about to find out. Let's go to Nathan to see what it's all about.
We take NUIA every year. Let's talk to some people about the importance of it.
Personally, I do not like NUIA as it drains me of my energy for the day, and I need to be using it in school whenever I have tests for other subjects.
I like NUIA. I think NUIA is a great thing. It's a good way to tell reading levels for kids. We also really push it on our daughter Emily to make sure that she's getting good grades and that we know what level she's at, and it's something that we actually pride ourselves as a family on where she is, to know how smart she is.
We've been giving NUIA tests this week to all the sophomores and freshman students. And one of the reasons we do this, that is maybe the most important reason, is to assess how much a child is growing in a certain subject. It's not a comparative test against other students at all. It's only to measure a student's own personal growth from the fall to the winter and then again in the spring. And we use these assessments to look at each student's growth or lack of growth and then determine how we need to adjust our teaching so that we can give every student exactly what he needs in order to achieve where he should be achieving.
Not everybody likes NUIA. This is Nathan Clark reporting for Saints Weekly.
Man, NUIA is interesting.
Sure is.
You know what else is interesting?
I do not know.
8th graders.
They sure are.
You know what? Let's go to Brooks about Step Up Day.
I can't wait.
8th grade Step Up Day is a big day for our school. Let's check in with the administration to get a deeper dive into what goes into it.
Eighth grade Step Up Day is a day where all the 8th graders can go to the high school and see what it's all about. All the students get to go around and look at what each class has to offer.
What is your role for 8th grade Step Up Day?
Well, I am on a committee with several others that we work with for student retention. So any new student activity or 8th grade Step Up Day, we kind of help plan as a committee.
Mr. Davis goes on to talk about the staff and administration that he talks to and works things out with to help make 8th grade Step Up Day successful.
I really work with Mrs. Kress at the middle school to make sure that our schedules are aligned, and then I talk with teachers and coaches to make sure that they're okay with students coming into their class and what time that's going to happen, and help set up the club fair. So really just kind of general oversight, and then our committee works together to just knock out different tasks and different jobs.
I get shown out on the TV, so at the end of the week y'all all get to watch it together.
The 8th graders have the opportunity to go up to the high schoolers and see what their station is about. The high schoolers will talk to them and explain to them their station.
Cock! Looks like we've got some pretty good insight for what goes into 8th grade Step Up Day. Reporting for Saints Weekly, I'm Brooks Klein.
I love 8th graders.
Yeah, me too.
You know who's not an 8th grader?
Who?
Me, sadly. Are you an 8th grader?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You want to talk to some?
No. Let's
do it.
Today at OCS, we're almost reaching 100 days of school, and we're currently counting down the days until it's summer. But 8th graders are counting down the days until they become high schoolers. Let's go see what they're excited about for high school.
I'm excited to be in a bigger portion of the school. I'm excited for new freedoms and sports.
I'm excited for the girls.
I'm excited for new relationships and sports that we get to play.
I'm excited for basketball.
I'm excited about the sports.
I'm excited for soccer and basketball.
In high school, I'm excited for meeting people and to have new classes, and
I'm excited for all the new freedoms and Sam Mooney.
I remember when I was that excited for high school. Reporting for Saints Weekly, I'm Addie Parks.
Dog, he really loves 8th graders.
I know.
Just look at him. You know what, looking back, I hate 8th grade.
Oh, I did too.
But I bet you other people don't.
This week we have 8th grade step-up day, and I know I've made a lot of memories in 8th grade, so let's ask some people what their favorite memory is.
My favorite 8th grade memory would have to be being on the basketball team where we lost every single game. I would probably say science camp. It was super fun. We did lots of cool activities.
I have to say my favorite 8th grade memory is whenever Mr. Caldwell came dressed like George Washington.
I'd have to say my favorite 8th grade memory was whenever we went to 8th grade retreats and we did the hunting and gathering thingy. It wasn't very fun, but it is a memory.
Speech and drama with Maddox.
Your favorite 8th grade memory?
My favorite 8th grade memory was going on the 8th grade retreat because it was so fun and we played a lot of 9-score.
About 8th grade was definitely my being humbled by getting rejected by 2 girls in the same year.
My favorite 8th grade memory was just Mr. Caldwell's class as a whole.
As you can see, 8th grade was a very memorable time for a lot of OCS students, and I know it was for me. Reporting for Saints Weekly, I'm Tatum Chandler.
Yo, remember when ACSI was here?
I love 8th graders.
Let's go to Ethan.
You may have noticed there's some new faces wandering around the school. Those were ACSI workers judging the school on our performance. Let's see what they thought of us.
We asked Mrs. Jones what her part to play was in the ACSI meetings and whether they liked our school or not.
My role in the ACSI team visit for accreditation was setting up the team members from their schools to come visit, and also I was the chairman of the steering committee, which means that all the people who wrote different reports on different aspects of the school gave them to me, and then I formatted them into the giant report that we submitted.
And go. While we were talking to Mrs. Jones, we also found out what the ACSI's opinion on our school was. From what she said, it sounds as if they had nothing but good things to say about us.
All of the team members were really impressed with our student body and with our faculty and staff, and they all related to the homey, loving atmosphere that we have here at OCS, and they were really excited to tell us how they felt that every day and how they observed the students helping and loving on other students, and the teachers doing the same thing with the students and loving on each other. So it was very gratifying to see that we have that kind of atmosphere. We all knew it already, but it was gratifying to see that other people could see it too.
We then asked other teachers on their opinion.
Are you going to ask the question?
Just say it.
Okay. When the ACSI people were here, I think it was really good for me because it was a fellow teacher. It wasn't anyone like high up or anything, so that was really nice for me to understand that it was just them figuring out how to help me instead of pick me apart and say the bad things.
Sounds like they liked us. This is Ethan Stovall with Saints Weekly. Back to you.
Jiminy Christmas.
ACSI sure is wild. You know who did really well with the ACSI?
8th graders?
No.
Oh.
Mr. Wilkins. Even better.
Yeah.
Let's see what his life is like.
All right.
Let's see if Ramsey will tell us about it.
At some point while you're at OCS, you either have had or will have Mr. Wilkins. He's contributed so much to our school and made so many students feel at home. Let's take a deeper look into his life.
So I teach 3 classes. I teach 2 Algebra 2 on levels to my juniors, and then I teach 2 BP geometries. And it's pretty awesome to be able to do stagecraft down the bus barn, way down the hill.
We asked Mr. Wilkins what it was like to teach stagecraft.
It's amazing to have a class in the bus barn, and it's a little stressful because I'm in charge of people who are using power tools and saws and things that they could cut off their arm or their finger or someone else's finger or things like that.
We asked Mr. Wilkins what his favorite part about teaching at OCS was.
I like teaching at OCS because, you know, as much headache as it can be sometimes talking to students and getting them to do work, it is more rewarding than anything just to see students like this person in front of me and see how they grow from freshman to senior year.
Well, you know what they say, to know him is to love him. This is Ramsey Kimber reporting for Saints Weekly.
Mr. Wilkins is really interesting.
You know, v Lego Master Stokes.
I prefer Cameron.
Nah, I think Lego Master's gonna win.
I have a crush on Cameron.
I can't wait to find out.
Good day, Saints. Get ready for the big game off between Jake the Man Stokes and Cameron the Laser Powell. Now to Carter Hawthorne on the fight.
Well, I really think that Cameron Powell's going to win. I know Jake Stokes is a great boxer and competitor, but you can't match Cameron Powell. That kid plays League of Legends every day. He knows his battle tactics. He knows what he's doing. And he freaks out on you if you play. I played Xbox with him many times. I'll give you an example of what happened once. He's sitting here playing his games with his legs crossed stuff. I just hear, "Shut up! Shut up!" And you could like hear him like stand up from his desk. He's freaking out. I don't know why. Just like, he goes crazy. And here's a picture of him. You can't tell me that that boy won't be a competitor. He will destroy Jake Stokes, and I know for a fact that Cameron Powell will win this fight.
After a big round of number 1, Cameron's leading with a 1 knockdown on Stokes. We'll see how round 2 goes. What are your thoughts on round 1 though, Reed?
Wow, Cameron came out with great anger. He was just going at it. I loved it. I loved his passion. Stokes, on the other hand,
I think we're going to see a lot from Stokes in the second round. Let's go right to it.
I have high expectations.
Watching round 2, it was a big fight at the beginning with Cameron getting that second knockdown to take the lead. Then Stokes comes back with a huge knockdown on Cameron. Let's see what happens in the final round. What were your thoughts on round 2 though?
Wow, I did not expect that from Stokes. He really brought it this round. Let's see if Cameron can come back from that devastating knockdown.
Truly crazy. Let's go right to it.
I think I could have done better. I think I underestimated Cameron, honestly. I didn't give it my all, but I think next time, if there is a next time, I will give it my all and I will destroy him.
After watching that crazy fight, it went neck and neck, but Cam finally pulled through and got the dub. Let's bring him in here. Come on down, Cam. Big champ. Let's get a round of applause. Cam, what are your thoughts on that fight?
Well, that was crazy. I can't believe that I won the first 2 rounds. But Stokes got the last round. I almost lost that.
It's truly an underdog story. If you could say anything to Stokes right now, what would you say?
Better luck next time, buddy.
Is that a threat for a second fight?
Never know. Reporting live from Saints Weekly, Wyatt Cole.
Reed, go forth.
Thank you.
That's why I have a crush on Cameron.
Dude, I never thought he'd win.
He's pretty good.
I thought the Lego Master would prevail. Foot traffic's been pretty bad recently, hasn't it?
Facts.
Let's go to Jace to find out what that word means.
This year, OCS High School has introduced directed traffic. I wonder how it works. Students have different experiences, so let's run over to Joel to find out.
They're very crowded, but I am a tiny man, so I get by them pretty easily. Just slip on through.
A smaller size makes navigating easier, but what about taller people and larger people?
It's terrible. It's way more busy.
So that's what students think, but what about teachers?
You know, it's interesting. I try to avoid the hallways during passing periods because it can get chaotic. But I will tell you, when I have been caught out in the halls during a passing period, it's not as bad this year. I don't feel like I'm going to die. That's an improvement.
Well, there seems to be quite a lot of variation in people's opinions of the directed traffic. Anyways, reporting for Saints Weekly, this is Jace Scott.
Now it's time for a word from our sponsors.
I'm on probation.
For texting and driving.
I think that's gonna...
Stop. Is that text really worth it?
No, it wasn't. Texting and driving doesn't only affect you, it affects those around you. So think next time you try and pick up that phone.
It's been a great time at SaintsWeekly.
It truly has. Some would say even spectacular. Thank you for joining us this week. See you later. And as always, I love 8th graders.